I've always been a funny dude. You know, I've always been a funny dude. I grew up listening to comedy. My father was funny. I'm number 8 of 11 kids, so my brothers and sisters are actually funnier than me. So I've always wanted to do comedy. Plus, as a young kid, I growing up in the projects, I was picked on a lot. You know, we were poor, we didn't have a lot of stuff. So what I did was I learned how to make fun of myself and make fun of other people, and then it just kind of blossomed into making it to jokes. You know what I mean? So like I don't do most of the jokes. I'm more of a storyteller. So I guess the inspiration came from just the childhood of funniness, man. The first time I performed, I was at the Why Not Lounge in Altamont, Bonkers Comedy Club on a Tuesday night. I brought like 70 of my coworkers, like 70 people. I just knew I killed it. I was like, yo, I crushed it. And the dude that hosted, Pedro Lima, one of my favorite comedians, said, come back next week by yourself. I came back next week by myself and bombed. And I was like, yo, this is it. This is what I want to do. So the first night was great because everybody was there to see it, but then the next night it was awful. But then I learned that, you know, your friends laugh at everything. Your friends will laugh at anything you say because they think you're the funniest person on the planet. But when you're in front of a group of strangers, that's just a different monster. My number one favorite special would be Patrice O'Neal, Elephant in the Room. It is, dude, it's amazing. It's one of the best comedy specials of all time. Chris Rock, Bigger and Blacker would be my second favorite, and Dave Chappelle's Killing Them Softly would be my third favorite. My favorite sitcom of all time is Martin. Martin is the greatest sitcom of all time. I will fight anybody who doesn't think Martin is not the greatest sitcom of all time. I will fight you if you don't believe that. But as a sketch comedy, it has to be in living color. In living color, especially for African Americans, you know, it was a great show to put all comedies on. Tommy Davis and David Allen Greer, one of my favorite comedians. I actually got to meet Damon Wayans Sr., but I actually got to meet and hang out in the green room with Orlando Improv one night. He even signed my book and everything. In Living Color to me would probably be the best sketch show, I think. And Chappelle is a close second, but come on, man, In Living Color is a phenomenal show. Friday, because I know every word from beginning to end of Friday. I would probably say Friday was probably my favorite comedy film. And then of course you think early days of Eddie Murphy, Golden Child, Coming to America. You know, I have those all memorized. 48 Hours, you know, pretty much anything Eddie Murphy did in the 80s was funny. Life, the movie Life, which was not 80s, it's more 90s, but Life is another one of my favorite comedy movies. But if you put it up top, Friday would probably be one of my favorite comedy movies. Oh, Chris Rock. Chris Rock is my favorite comedian of all time, which is weird because, you know, I ain't saying it's weird, but most people would say Chappelle, most people would say Louis C.K. You really would hear a comic say they wanted to Chris Rock, which is weird because he's like one of the funniest comedians of all time. I just saw him in Orlando probably 2 weeks ago with my fiance, and he had been on tour for what, 8 or 9 years, and you would have never known this guy hadn't been on tour for 9 years. Like, he was crisp, his punchlines were on point. Like the writing was great, the material was great. Chris Rock would be someone I would love to go on tour with. My second would be, if he ever came out of retirement, would be Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy would probably be a comedian I would love to go on tour with, man. And you know, those are probably my top two comedians. If I could go on tour with two comedians, definitely be those two. I would probably say Kevin Hart, because I've seen Kevin Hart roast before. He's really good. Jeff Ross, because he's amazing at it. I don't know, because besides what's on the roast, you really see like Michael Blackson. He's good at roasting people. I would probably say those three, and then if it was a real true like roasting, I would rather just the Orlando comics roast each other, because that's what we do outside of the other bar every Monday night at open mic. It's sit outside and roast and make fun of each other. It's not like a, hey, so let's talk about Bill. Oh, Bill here. No, it's you walk up, if your clothes messed up, we just gonna destroy you. It's nothing that we write overnight. It's as quick, like pop, 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 pop. That's the roasting I like. I'm not, and I'm saying that roasts are stupid. It's just not my style. Even though I just did one last week. We did the roast of Star Wars, and I was Mace Windu, but I actually played Jules Windu. I took the character from Pulp Fiction, Samuel Jackson, and put Mace Windu and Jules together, and I called him Jules Windu. I had a jerry curl, I had a cigarette on stage and everything. It's fun. I actually watched it the other day and they made me laugh. It was actually pretty good. Hopefully I have a special on Netflix or Comedy Central. If not, man, I just hope I'm still working. I just hope in 5 years I'm still relevant. In 5 years, I hope that the scene that I'm a part of in Orlando still looks up to me. I'm hoping I'm still the go-to guy when clubs need me. I'm hoping in 5 years clubs still reply to my emails and text messages and pick the phone up when I call. In 5 years, I just hope I'm still working, man, and I hope I'm still funny in 5 years. Because I've seen plenty of times of comics who've been doing this for a while that they get bitter when they haven't got to a certain point of success. I think they forget about what we are as stand-ups, and our job is to make people laugh. Whether it's in front of 50,000 people in Madison Square Garden or 35 people at Gypsy's Comedy Club. At the end of the day, as a stand-up, your job is to make people laugh, no matter the setting, big or small. I did a show in Fort Myers 3 weeks ago. It was 8 people in the crowd, and I gave them 8 people the same show that I would give 500 people at the Improv. You know what I mean? So in 5 years, I hope I'm still funny, man. I just hope in 5 years that people are still walking out the door like, yo, bro, you were funnier than so-and-so who's famous. You were funnier than the guy we see last week. You're the funniest comic we've seen here. But then, in 5 years, I hope I'm still just funny, man. That's it. A comedy can be cool. It'd be great to have a sitcom. I think just getting on TV is every comic's dream. Every comic wants to be on have a sitcom. We all want a Seinfeld moment, or we all want our Martin moment, or we all want to be big screen. Because comedy, as great as it is, for most of us, it doesn't pay that well. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna make $100 million off of this. So you have to venture out into other things, like you have to get into TV. Like right now, a lot of comics are doing skits, and I'm actually trying to write a book about my life and stand up. So you got to, you got to do a lot of other things, man, nowadays to make money off of stand-up and get some notoriety. Because just being a stand-up, a lot of times ain't gonna keep the lights on for you. You can find me on social media. On Facebook, it's Ken Miller-Comedian. Please like the fan page because I only got like 1,200 likes, so I need like 5,000 likes. Facebook, Ken Miller. Instagram, Twitter, Ken Miller30, and my website is www.kenmillerthecomic.com. Represent Greensboro, North Carolina, baby. Hey man, that you just had a good time. That's it. That you laughed. You didn't get offended by anything. I'm not offensive, but some things offend people. That you just had a good time, man. That you left the club and you laughed, and that you forgot about the crappy day that you have. I always start my shows off with, hey, whatever day you had, don't even worry about it for now. Let me ride for this 45 minutes to an hour, and you enjoy the show. So hopefully when they leave, man, they just had a good time, man. And that's all. As comics, that's what we're here for, man. Gotta make people laugh, man. That's the name of the game. Your name as a stand-up, your job is to get on stage and make a group of strangers laugh, and that's it. Hey man, this is Ken Miller, straight out of Greensboro, North Carolina, now living in Orlando. Please check out this interview on acutiepie.com.